Right now at 6, police have a suspect in custody for allegedly hiding a body near a La Crosse trail.
And the Eau Claire community is protesting the closure of 2 major hospitals in the area.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. La Crosse police say a man will be charged in connection with a body found last July. Officers arrested 43-year-old Benjamin Thorson for allegedly hiding the body of Julia Hedem. Hedem was found near the Bud Hendrickson Trail on July 29th. LCPD say investigators found leads identifying Thorson as a suspect responsible for hiding her body.
And while investigating Thorson for other charges, police say they found property belonging to Hedem in Thorson's hotel room, as well as video evidence from the hotel showing Thorson pulled a wagon with what appears to be Hedem wrapped in a sheet. Thorson is currently in federal custody awaiting the outcome of drug and firearm charges. In the meantime, the La Crosse County DA's office will be filing an additional charge of hiding a corpse.
Yeah, once again, we still got the fog, but there is some sun eventually coming out this weekend finally, but we still got to deal with it overnight. Right now, visibility kind of depends on where you are, but still, if you look at all the cameras, we do have some lower visibility to 0 at certain locations. The dense fog advisory is out till 10 a.m. Saturday, tomorrow morning. We should see some improvement. There's your visibility. Overall, a lot of them are 1 to 0, but there are a few pockets in there that it's not too bad, 4 to 5 miles. It should all probably get worse tonight as we go throughout. The good news is the rain has come to an end for most areas right now, just Sparta, Toma, some of the areas that are seeing some light rain. Otherwise, probably some drizzle that's involved. Speaking of Toma, there's what we're seeing, just some light rain right now following. It's beginning to get onto the left edge of it, so it should be coming to an end here with just some drizzle, but notice the visibility 1 mile too once again. So if you look at overall, really just clouds and lower visibilities for both locations. We're going to be staying steady in the mid-30s overnight, so once again still mild and not expecting any slippery conditions as temperatures should stay above freezing as we go out throughout the night. Now our countdown is 1 week away to the old groundhog. Now I can guarantee one thing, he won't be cold because temperatures will be warm, but we'll see if he's actually going to see his shadow a little bit later.
All right.
Okay, thanks, Greg.
Well, Alabama has carried out a first-of-its-kind execution, shining a spotlight on capital punishment in the United States. Convicted killer Kenneth Eugene Smith was put to death last night after breathing nitrogen gas through a face mask to cause oxygen deprivation. Smith was one of 2 men convicted in the 1988 murder-for-hire slaying of Elizabeth Sinnett. Witnesses to the execution included Smith's family members and friends, as well as members of the media.
The nitrogen gas was administered. His body began to shake for about 2 minutes, followed by heavy breathing for about 5 to 7 minutes. His final words before the procedure were about leaving with light, love, and peace. He made the I love you sign with his left hand, which faced his family.
Now, critics are calling Smith's execution by nitrogen gas inhumane, but this is the method Smith had requested. Alabama's Attorney General called it textbook and now proven. He said Alabama's execution team stands ready to help other states that want to implement nitrogen gas executions.
Talks between the White House and Senate continue on Capitol Hill over security at the U.S.-Mexico border. But there are new concerns that former President Trump and other top Republicans may be trying to kill a possible bipartisan deal before any details have been laid out.
Willie James Inman has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Bipartisan talks in the Senate over how to fix the nation's broken immigration system hit a speed bump.
We feel that it's been happening in a good faith nature, and these negotiations about policy changes, obviously, and also funding resources.
While no text has been released yet, former President Donald Trump, the likely Republican presidential nominee, has already come out against a potential deal. In a letter to House Republicans Friday, House Speaker Mike Johnson also blasted a potential plan, writing in part, "If rumors about the contents of the Senate draft proposal are true, it would have been dead on arrival in the House."
House Republicans, they have a choice to make, right? They have to choose whether they want to solve a problem or, get in the way.
Speaker Johnson says his chamber will move as soon as possible on whether to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over the Biden administration's handling of the U.S.-Mexico border.
It's not like we don't have a process at the border, and there is a challenge there, and the president does want to get more Border Patrol agents.
Texas has become a flashpoint in the crisis, particularly at Shelby Park and Eagle Pass. The state has refused to remove razor wire fencing and other barriers at the site to impede illegal immigration, despite a ruling this week from the Supreme Court. The Biden administration is demanding Border Patrol agents be given immediate access to the park to help process migrants. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
A New York jury reaches a decision in E. Jean Carroll's civil defamation case against former President Donald Trump. The 9-person jury is awarding Carroll $83.3 million in damages. Carroll's attorney asked the jury for $24 million in compensatory damages for her clients, plus whatever amount in punitive damages that will make Trump stop defaming her, arguing that he continued to defame Ms. Carroll even as the trial was ongoing. The former president's attorney told jurors that Trump told the truth when he refuted Carroll's claims. Trump took the witness stand for just a few minutes during his trial, testifying that he 100% stands by his deposition in which he claimed not to know Carroll and called her mentally sick.
Hundreds of Honda HR-V owners are drawing attention to an issue with their back window.
On the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's website, there are more than 300 complaints from HR-V owners saying their rear windshield shattered without any impact.
Back in October, a class action lawsuit was filed on behalf of 6 HR-V owners who claimed their rear windshield shattered spontaneously. Sergey Lemberg is their attorney.
The lawsuit alleges that the vehicles that Honda manufactured have defective rear windshields that pop and break and crack at random.
And what has Honda's response been to your lawsuit?
They moved to dismiss. This morning, they filed a motion saying there's no cause of action.
But Honda did acknowledge the volume of complaints, saying in a statement, Honda will be initiating a voluntary product update campaign related to this issue and is working to secure the needed replacement parts as soon as possible. We estimate that this campaign will begin in April or May 2024. Also in that statement, Honda says the rear glass may weaken over time when the defroster is used. Honda says any HR-V owner who has a shattered rear window should contact their nearest authorized dealer or Honda customer service to arrange a repair.
The takeaway cup that fuels our mornings is getting a fresh look. In Denmark, one city is looking at replacing those disposable paper cups with ones that can be reused. In a first-of-its-kind program, officials hope by paying a deposit up front, they can tackle single-use waste. For a deposit of 5 kroner, or roughly 75 cents, customers get their latte, cappuccino, or other fancy concoction in a reusable cup.
You drink your coffee, you take your smartphone or your credit card, you do like this, and then you just put the cup in. And just like that, you get 5 crowns transferred to your bank account.
So the cups then travel to a facility where they're cleaned and inspected for damage. Officials hope the idea cuts back on waste, as 50% of the city's trash comes from takeaway items. And if successful, they hope to widen the program to include other takeaway containers.
2 major hospitals in the Chippewa Valley announced they are closing for good.
The community rallying today and making their voices heard. What board members are saying as the closure is felt throughout the community, right after this.
Need to stay open. Mic check, 1 2.
Hospital Sisters Health System announced earlier this week it'll be closing Sacred Heart in Eau Claire and St. Joseph Hospital in Chippewa Falls.
Prevea Health also announced it will be closing all of their locations throughout western Wisconsin. News 8 Now's Michael Germain is live at Sacred Heart Hospital, where workers and supporters held a rally earlier today to keep the hospitals open. Michael.
Ken and Emily, although this rally might not do much, workers are making it known that hospitals need to stay open. Folks throughout the community gathered at Sacred Heart Hospital to stop it from closing. One person who attended the rally shared that she was a patient at Sacred Heart and knows a lot of other people who have attended.
I think that losing this resource to our community would be devastating. The nearest children's mental health wards are hours away.
HSHS says inflation and the pandemic forced them to close its hospitals and clinics, which will affect more than 1,000 healthcare workers.
They want to be here and they want to help people, and they're going to be losing their jobs and are going to have a really tough time finding something new.
Cater said she decided to join the rally for visibility. She believes HSHS will not notice of the many individuals that have decided to speak out. In efforts to combat against the issue, the Eau Claire Area Chamber of Commerce hosted a meeting this morning where city officials had the chance to discuss future plans they're taking.
Those issues need to happen all at the same time. It's not like we can focus on one and say, okay, that one's done, and we can move to the next. So very similar to COVID, we're going to have a significant task force working on all of this at one time.
City officials say the closures of the hospital will cause a major impact to the community.
But we have patients, which is a very large piece of this. What's going to happen with them? Where do they get care? How do they navigate all of those things?
Now, I know you probably can't tell, but directly behind me, a protest just finished wrapping up right in front of Sacred Heart Hospital. Now, Chamber of Commerce officials will be meeting next Tuesday to discuss further actions that they will be taking. Reporting live in Eau Claire, Michael Germain, News 8 Now.
A lot of questions yet to be answered indeed. Thank you, Michael. And with those unanswered questions, and as the story continues to develop, we will stay on it for you. There is another rally that is scheduled for Monday, starting at 3 in the afternoon. We'll have more details on our digital platforms.
Well, NASA scientists make a landmark discovery with help from the Hubble Space Telescope.
How a new planet is helping them understand our own.
And we had a transformation last week with temperatures and moisture. Next week, another transformation. Probably good news if you want more sun, because we got it in the forecast and temperatures stay mild. I'll break all that down and when we might actually hit 40 coming up with your First One weather update after the break.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
There's been a landmark discovery in the world of space.
NASA says it has found water on an exoplanet 97 light years from Earth. Astronomers used the Hubble Space Telescope to detect water molecules in the small, blazing hot planet's atmosphere.
The planet is named GJ9827d, sounds like a license plate number. It is roughly twice Earth's diameter, but still the smallest exoplanet found to have water vapor in its atmosphere.
Temperatures there reach 800 degrees Fahrenheit, making it very unlikely any kind of life exists there. But it gets researchers closer to understanding worlds that have characteristics similar to Earth, such as, of course, the presence of water. So I wonder if it gets like a better name. Now
Yeah, I hope so. Something more creative, not so technical.
Right? At home, do you know any of the letters or numbers that were in it? I already forgot.
No, you forget about it. Not memorable. Well, it was a foggy and drizzly Friday this morning.
And visibility was rough.
But it looks like we may see some sun at the end of the weekend. Let's send it over to Greg to get the latest.
Yeah, we're definitely going to start seeing some sun. Unfortunately, if you look at long-term forecasts right now, we're looking at 6 to 10 days. We're looking at now 8 to 14. And if you go 3 to 4 weeks, almost towards the end of February, a lot of warm temperatures. We do get a little bit more precipitation. Looks like towards the second week of February. But all in all, there's not much cold air besides the west coast. You're going to see it. So it's going to be a warm stretch probably through the middle of February right now. If we look at going through next week, there's your average highs right now, upper 20s, lows about the low teens. The records were going upper 40s to low 50s. So we're going to get up there, but maybe not quite record. 30s through the first half of next week. And then we'll see 40s for the second half, and they'll probably go through Groundhog's Day and the following weekend too. Maybe a 50, just depends how much snow maybe is left in the ground. If we don't have a lot of snow, those temperatures probably can go a little higher. Dense fog tonight through Saturday morning. We'll probably still have some patchy fog as we go through Saturday night into Sunday morning. Probably not widespread, but still something to keep in mind of. We have a little weak system, a few rain showers or snow showers coming Monday night into Tuesday morning. And then it's dry really until maybe the tail end of next week, and we might see some showers. So we're going to have a drier stretch, so next week won't be as moist or the humidity as high. Overall, if you look at through the next, there's just a lot of cloud cover. That's really the main feature as we go through Saturday. Temperatures really won't change much, just a few degrees into the mid to upper 30s. Basically not much change in the clouds. We will see more, probably less fog as we go into Saturday night, just cloud cover, but still something to keep in mind. We'll probably see pockets of it. And if we do go below freezing Saturday night to Sunday morning, any type of moisture in the roads could cause some slick spots, but we're not expecting any widespread fog. Sun, yeah, it looks like probably by Sunday afternoon we're going to see a little bit of break in the cloud cover come through, so I think we'll see some sun, and then clouds start to increase Sunday night into Monday, but this is more high clouds. We're not so much of the low clouds, as we have a little weak system that I mentioned that's going to be coming digging south towards the area probably Monday night into Tuesday. Just a weak system, but there's still some signs that we could get some rain or snow from it. We'll just see the path and evolution. Right now we're just on the west edge of it, but something we'll keep in mind because it could impact travel as we go through Tuesday morning. Otherwise, through the rest of the week, not much to speak of. We're going to have a huge system, really a lot of moisture being pushed into the west coast. That's a system that will eventually push out to the plains. That could get to us maybe by the weekend, but ahead of this through the next week, just warm conditions as mild air gets pulled to the north ahead of this. So that'll be towards the weekend, but all in all, next week's going to be fairly dry, minus Monday night and Tuesday. That'll be the big change that we'll have from this week. Overall, tonight, still fog cover is going to be the fog and cloud cover. Temperatures getting down to around the low to mid 30s. As you wake up tomorrow morning, dense fog is out till about 10 a.m. We'll see some improvement. Temperatures get a few degrees warmer, but more probably cloud cover once again, and maybe some fog as we go into Sunday. Won't be as widespread or dense, but then we'll have some sun hopefully by the afternoon hours, and then the rest of the week, like I said, minus Monday night into Tuesday, should be fairly dry, and temperatures climb up to the 40s. If we don't have any snow cover by the end of next week, then temperatures, you probably can boost them another 3 to 4 degrees. Just depends on how the snow cover plays out, which it is dwindling, but it's still there.
I was downtown last night and I saw kids walking around in shorts. Crazy.
Yep. That's Wisconsin culture, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Greg, thanks for the latest. Coming up next in sports, the Badgers are back at home looking for their 8th conference win of the season. Plus, one of the area's best athletes getting national recognition once again. Rob is up next.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
The Gatorade Player of the Year Award celebrates the nation's top high school athletes on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. And now for the second straight season, that award going to Onalaska standout Manny Putz. The 5'6", 130-pound junior powered across the line to take 5th at the Nike Cross Nationals final this past season, clocking a time of 15:23.1 to earn first-team All-American honors. Putz also won the Division I state meet for a second successive season, recording the fastest all-class time of the day. He won 7 of his 10 races last fall, and his 14:32.1 at the NXR Heartland meet, where he took silver, was a personal best. Putz is also a rock star in the classroom as well as his community. He maintains a 3.89 GPA at Onalaska High. Also volunteered locally for the Salvation Army's Red Kettle Drive, as well as the Rotary Lights. Big congrats to our back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year. On the hardwood tonight, Badgers are back at it in Madison. Wisconsin looking for its 8th conference win of the season tonight when they host Michigan State. Badgers and Spartans squared off earlier this season. Wisconsin coming out on top in that one, 70-57. Badgers will look to improve to 8-1 in Big Ten play. On the pro hardwood tonight, the Bucks are back at it, battling the Cavs for the 2nd time this week. This is their 3rd matchup in the last 10 days. Still no Doc Rivers for Milwaukee. Joe Prunty still the interim head coach until Rivers makes his way onto the bench. Despite all the coaching drama, though, the Bucks have won 3 straight. They'll look for number 4 tonight at home.
Your play of the week brought to you by Gunderson Health System, helping you love how healthy feels.
Well, how can it not be the UWL women's basketball team? Eagles with by far their biggest win of the season Wednesday night at Mitchell Hall. Undefeated Whitewater was in town, but the Eagles putting a big, fat number 1 in the Warhawks loss column. Lacrosse coming to play, especially Lauren Milne, the junior, finishing with a team-high 22 points on the night. Eagles hit 5 threes in the final frame. They take down the number 4 team in the country, 77-66. What a win that was.
Yeah.
That was an awesome night for them. I talked to the star of the night, Lauren, yesterday.
Yep.
And she said a win like that, it could have 2 different effects. It could be, you kind of rest on your laurels a bit, just beat the 4th best team in the country, or you can use it as motivation. And I think they're confident. They're a confident group of girls, and that's a big win to beat one of the best teams in the country.
Absolutely.
Number 4.
Huge win for them. So it's going to be the latter for them. They're going to use it as motivation.
Yeah, I think so. Confident team. They played well all game, and it was a really cool environment, so I think it's going to be good.
Love to see it for the program.
Big night tonight, Central Aquinas boys.
The Frenzy's
coming up at 10.
Don't miss it.
The Frenzy's back.
All right,
Thanks,
we'll be
Rob.
right back after this.
All right, fog will be the problem tomorrow. We have the dense fog until 10 a.m. We should see visibility improve as we get to the afternoon. We could see some fog once again into Sunday morning. Probably won't be as dense as we saw this morning. Otherwise, 40s next week potentially.
Like it.
Love that.
So.
And love that the Frenzy's coming up tonight.
Absolutely, I can't wait.
Don't miss it.
So exciting. We'll see you at 10.